apply for this job?
So, well, the NHS has been slammed as sexist and woke after this job ad.
Again?
Yeah. It's a nightly occurrence on headliners. But they put out a job ad for a senior role, over 100 grand, in which the candidate preferably identifies as female. Whatever that means. It seems so anybody could go for it. So this is illegal and discriminatory against male applicants, apparently. It's set out in the Government Guidance and Equality Act, according to the Men and Boys Coalition chief executive, who's called...
That's an unfortunate name.
It sounds too much like the Man-Boy Love Association.
Exactly. It really sounds a number to me too, yeah.
But I'm guessing from the tone of this, it's a slightly more reputable organisation than that. But yeah, I mean, this is absolutely true, as well as being discriminatory. Although it kind of isn't discriminatory because anybody can identify as female. You just say you identify as female, but you get this a lot in comedy. You know, they're trying to, everybody wants to, you know, have some sort of diverse gender, you know, woo-woo person on their bill. It's just the flavour of the decade. And so they put these ads up saying we're looking for somebody who, you know, female identifying or trans or whatever. And it's like I always apply saying, yeah, I'm female identifying, and I never get the gig because like people think that I'm joking. But like, how come I'm discriminated against for female identifying, but other people aren't? I don't understand what the rules are. Well, but also all this stuff, all this sort of, you know, job ads where they're like, oh, we want, you know, specifically just this person, no pale stale males or whatever. It makes an organisation less effective because you're drawing on a smaller pool of people. So it's like saying, oh, go down to the shops and get me the largest vegetable, but it's got to be a tomato. It's like, you're not going to get the largest vegetable.
No. Well, just reading the job description, it says that...
I don't want to jump in there, but tomato is a fruit, and that, I don't know if that... Is it,
but it identifies as
trans vegetable, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I said to call them. You say tomato, I say trans vegetable, now everybody on the same page.
I was going to say, but the job application, it says you want someone with the efficient delivery of the day-to-day operational management. Now, Dane, surely both men and women, or whatever you identify as, can do this ridiculous business speak.
I'd say so as well. I mean, I think the fact that it does say preferably someone who identifies is how they've been able to cover themselves legally. I personally feel like, while I do agree that jobs which carry this level of gravity should be meritocratic and whoever is best for the job should be, especially when you're dealing with an institution like the NHS, until it's privatised, I guess. However, you know, realistically speaking, there does seem to be a large amount of underrepresentation within these institutions, and, you know, the NHS is a particularly nuanced institution whereby you may need people who have particular sets of skills or may have a particular aesthetic in order because of the high level of human interaction that is required for the role.
Are you saying there's differences between men and women?
Predominantly.
Right. Yeah. That sounds regressive.
That's
what they said in the 50s.
I mean, predominantly there would be differences between men and women, but I guess that's also based on how those people choose to identify. But then I'm not a member of the NHS, but I'm very sure that they have an idea of what they're doing, and there is probably a good reason to justify all of this. I think if the NHS was privatised, we may not see any kind of incentive which does encourage a diversity of applicants.
Yeah. Oh no, this is happening in private companies as well. This sort of this nonsense where, you know, HR departments have so much power and they have all these targets and all the rest of it to try and narrow down, you know, the fields of people they're picking from. And it's basically old-fashioned discrimination, but updated for 2022.
I just think it's sad that seeing two comedians who disagree with the idea that someone can transition or identify as a woman in order to get a great job. In the wake of Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire, I would have thought that you two would know better, that sometimes it takes for someone to identify as a woman for the greater good.
Well, actually,